Well, let me ask you a question. Um, Give me one piece of advice your future self would tell you now.
That's a good question. Future self, tell me now.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot. I don't know. A piece of it, like what kind of piece of advice? Like
Anything,
anything?
business, relationships, anything.
Most of the advice that 10 years from me would say would be all the quotes that I know now, or it would be all the quotes I would learn, like Mark Twain's "Don't argue with stupid people; they'll drag you down to their level and beat you with experience." And I don't know why you're talking to me then. No, what would you say to you?
Well, I asked that question because I want to see if you had any regrets now.
I always have regrets. What are you talking about? I regret everything.
Really?
Yeah, I regret how much time this took.
I thought you wanted all this time.
No, I do, but there's so many mistakes and so much money that I had to spend because of my lack of knowledge, lack of experience. And like, when I first started, I thought I needed like the traditional boom arms and everything, with like the nice fancy stuff that comes across and like, ooh, look at this. There's a microphone in front of me. Only to realize that I kind of need this space right here.
Right.
There's the cost of education, but also the cost of ignorance. Because yeah, I wanted that boom arm. I wanted that traditional podcast look, but I also realized that I don't need it. It's just it works for some people, but for what I do, I mean, I'm not a big fan of like an arm coming down here. I would like it to be in front of me, but at the same time, it's easier to communicate with hand motions and everything. So, I mean, the only thing I would regret, well, the other regret would be how much I thought my dad was stupid. That's another regret. Yeah, he's not stupid. I just didn't know what I needed to know. Also, assumptions, speculations, assuming that I knew how people worked, or speculating about how, like if someone like unintentionally hurt me for whatever reason, it wasn't their fault that they hurt me. I was my fault for taking it, assuming or speculating on something, and then I mean everyone's gonna have regrets. I mean you probably have regrets.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I learned a while ago that no matter how much I'm working towards my achievements, whatever, right? I realized that if I think that the cost of success is high, wait till I get that bill from regret, right? Because I realized that regret, man, oh my goodness, that's such a powerful word because you deal with that mentally, psychologically, and how that affect your current perception. So. But you asked me what my older self I tell my younger self, right? I think I shared this with you off screen was that don't be a people pleaser. You're gonna waste so many years of things you should be focused on instead of focus on that, right? And that's probably my biggest regret ever. Yeah.
Yeah, but you never regret when you realized you wanted to change.
I don't regret that.
And you don't regret the years that you continuously improved on that regret.
Well, I don't. But what I had to do, Aaron, I had to date myself. Right? I feel me by that. Because if I'm being a people pleaser, I don't know what I like. I don't know what I want, right? So I would, probably I would take myself to a movie. I'll take myself to a dinner. I don't mean to Bob's Big Boy or something like that. I'll take myself to a DC Prime, sit down by myself, have a dinner by myself, right? A morning steakhouse, things like that, right? Because I had to learn how to, if this is what I like to do or not. And then not doing it to impress someone, but see if I like it, right? Right. And so by doing things like that, showed me who I really was. So now I can say, you know what? I can show you who I am. So this is who I am. You like it or you don't, but this is who I am, right? Right? I'm not doing it to impress you, because this is what I do. Yeah.
That's really interesting. I knew
date
that.
yourself.
Yeah. I'm glad I'm not gay because that would not turn out.
I don't mean go to first base with yourself. I mean date yourself platonically. Well, most people want to be liked. You know, most people want to do things because keep in mind your first date, you showing the best of yourself, right? You're not trying to make any mistakes. You're just trying to open the door for somebody, things like that. You be in the best behavior, right?
And that's just once you know who you are, then you don't have to pretend to be something
Pretend
else because
exactly.
you're
Oh
honest.
yeah.
Because you know what you want, you know who you are, and if someone doesn't like it, well, they can.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you don't impose that like who you are, your standards, and everything on other people, like you said earlier. You just know that you hold yourself to a certain degree, and that you don't give in to other people's temptations for their benefit. You do it either because it's something that you like to do or something that you just find enjoyable.
Right, right. And just on the basis of being nice to someone, if you're trying to be nice, you're not really nice because you're trying to be nice, right? You know, that's gonna be revealed on the second date.
The vast majority of communications, people are going to see that like 5 minutes later that you weren't actually doing anything because it's not about the action, it's about the behavior of you doing that every single time and actually having people depend on you. If you don't have anyone to depend on you, you're not going to have those crazy interactions. And on one hand, yeah, you have to show that you're valuable, but two, if you're not valuable, then no one's going to take you, or no one's even going to consider you.
Right, right.
And it's like there's pure diamonds, and then there's I think they call it mesocyte diamonds, like lab grown diamonds and non.
Right, yeah,
Yeah. So if you go for a lab grown diamond, they're cheaper and they're more affordable and they look shinier. But if you wanted something that was like genuine diamonds, you'd have to pay more, and they're usually a lot tinier, but they're pure.
I think those requirements that people see, people have about the perfect mate, whatever you know, I think that's textbook because I know for a fact after many years of experience, women want someone who can provide for them, right? Who cares for them, right? And, and most importantly, who's, who can be honest with them, right? But you don't find that on the first date, right? So what do you do on the first, second, third date? Do you even reveal those things, right? So it takes a time for that. That's why you should, when you're in a dating pool, you should try to be friends with people. To take sex out the equation altogether, right? Let me see if I like you first, because I might not like you. You might be cute and beautiful, but I don't like you.
You might be beautiful, but you're dumb as a rock.
I don't want to say it on camera, but I'm glad you said it.
I'm gonna keep that in the final. Just because I don't want to take up too much of your time, what's one last thing you want to end with? Or maybe not the last thing, but just something that you see the world as that not many people really come to that reality.
Life is to be lived. Life is so full of joy, aspirations, accomplishments, right? You know, I think that for whoever listens to this podcast, wherever you are, find people who you can ride with. Put people in your circle that you can depend on. They can depend on you. Have a similar values in life, you know, but because this is a long journey, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you waste too much time trying to be something that you're not. Whatever you know is gonna hurt you in the long run. You know, identify your goals, work towards them, have people around you support you, you know, and live life, man. Life is so much fun. I had a ball, man. This is not my eulogy, of course, but had a ball. I mean, I traveled the world, you know. I served in the military, you know. I've been out of 50 states. I've probably been to like 43 of them, you know. So yeah, there's nothing more I really want to do except go to Monte Carlo. Whoever's listening, I want to go to Monte Carlo. That's my dream vacation. Yeah.
Not about whoever's listening, your kids. They better fund that.
Because you know I love life, man. And I think I really believe in my heart that I made the world a better place just because I existed. You know, I think if I help one person get through one obstacle, I think it was worth it.
Well, you're helping me, so that's it.
Check.
We'll get your grave over here, your tombstone right there.
Right. But some people feel like, what, if I got to do something else, I still got more to do. You know, I'm on cruise control now, man. You know, and with my marriage too. I don't. My wife and I have a great marriage, man. We're friends. You know, we support one another, and because I think the secret is that I let her be her. She let me be me. Right. I get on my motorcycle, man. I ride for her days on out. You know, she's cool with that. You know, and she might say, okay, I'm going to Jamaica with my sisters for a week. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm not trying to control her. She's not trying to control me. So it's great.
It's good. All right. Well, thank you.
You're more than welcome. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too.